If you want to learn how to burn wood with your Cricut, it's very simple and you'll need only a few things. Number 1, some adhesive vinyl. Number 2, some wood burning paste or scorch paste. Now you can buy this ready-made from many shops, but I'll also leave a recipe down in the description if you're wanting to make your own. You'll need ammonium chloride, some thickener, and a little bit of warm water and some food coloring if you want to. I prefer the Scorch Gel or the wood burning gel because I've found that it doesn't seep into the woods that I'm using, which means that there's no bleeding that occurs underneath your vinyl, which is exactly what you want. You'll also need a heat gun and a brush. And of course, the board that you're wanting to burn into. When choosing the board that you want to use for your wood burning design, I would recommend that a bamboo board is kind of one of the best ones that I've found at the moment. Any piece of wood that already has treatment oils in it will generally burn a little bit more, as those oils end up heating up along with the scorch paste and leave your board looking a little bit burnt in certain places. So in Cricut Design Space, what I've done is I've added in the design that I want to use. So it says, if you can read this, ons gaan nou braai. Where I'm from in South Africa, that means we're going to barbecue, but it's a very, very, very South African saying. You know, one of the 44 people that speak Afrikaans in South Africa use this saying, if you understood that reference. What I also do when I'm adding in these designs and sizing them is I click on shapes and I add in a square. Now this is going to be the size of the board that I'm going to be using. So what I will do is I will first click on the padlock to unlock the proportions of the square, and I'm going to type in the dimensions of the board. So I know that it's 43 centimeters long and 20.5 centimeters high. So I'm going to type in 43, and then I'm going to type in 20.5. And now I can see what space I have to work with. It is in the front, so I'm going to send it to the back. And I'm going to make sure that the design that I have is correctly sized for the actual board that I'm going to be using. Now, if I want to make it a little bit smaller, because I don't want this to take up the entire wood board, I want it to be in the middle. Essentially, it's one of those things when you have guests over for us, it'll be a braai, or for wherever you are, maybe just a dinner event or a barbecue. Same kind of concept as a barbecue, but better. You'll have all of your snacks and your cheeses and your crackers out on this serving platter. And once those snacks and cheeses are all done, then essentially we start to barbecue. That's typically what us in South Africa do at our braais. We have snacks and then we braai. So once all of your snacks are gone, it will reveal this message and it'll say, ons gaan nou braai. Once I'm happy with the size of the design that I'm going to be burning into my wood board, I'm going to use this block to create a little bit of a template for my design. So I'm just going to resize it because it's the approximate size of this design. I may make it a little bit narrower. And what I'm doing here is I'm leaving a centimeter or so edge around the side, just because I'm clumsy and I'm messy when I'm working with these kinds of things. And I like to have a little bit of a border around the design that I'm working with on the board. Because we're going to be cutting this out of adhesive vinyl and putting it onto the actual wood board itself, and then putting the wood burning gel on top of that, and then using a brush to brush in the wood burning gel on the sections that are exposed, I want to make sure that there is a little bit of a border so that when I accidentally use the brush a little bit too far, I'm not going to be putting the wood burning gel onto a section of the board that I don't want to have burnt. I might even make this a little bit bigger because I'm talking to myself now and I'm making myself nervous. So I'm going to select both of the layers, and you can center them. It's not really a problem. And then I'm going to right click and attach them. Don't worry about the color change at all. It will still cut exactly like this. And what we're going to do is once it's cut, we're going to weed out the sections that we want to have burnt into the wood. So instead of removing the negative, we're going to do exactly the opposite. We're going to remove the positive parts of the wood board and then have the negative stuck down onto the board. I'm then going to send it to my machine, and select the material that I'm going to be using, which is just going to be permanent vinyl. I have used removable vinyl in the past, but I find it doesn't stick very well to wood, so I would recommend using permanent vinyl. So I'm going to be selecting Premium Vinyl Permanent Glossy. We're going to cut out the design, and then we're going to carry on with the next steps. Always be sure to check your test cuts before you remove it from the mat, but in this case, make sure to remove the letters and not the outside of the letters. So we can see there that it has cut through, and I'm going to put that back down and remove it from the machine. You can now remove it from the mat and cut down the vinyl so that you can save the offcuts. And now we're going to weed the very outside, leaving the main square visible. Now, like I mentioned, we need to remove the inside of the letters because that's what we want to have exposed to the gel. So we need to remember to be very careful to weed the letters and not the outside. Next, we need to apply transfer tape to the vinyl so that we can put it onto the board. So I'm just going to cut this transfer tape down in size. Remove the backing, apply and squeegee the transfer tape on. Flip the vinyl over and remove the backing from the transfer tape. Get out your wood board. If you want to make sure that the positioning is perfect before applying the vinyl, then what you can do is use some silicone paper. So you place the silicone paper over the board, place your vinyl onto the silicone paper, and now you can line it up without worrying about it being skew. I would suggest putting the vinyl upside down and placing the silicone paper onto the vinyl so that there's a little bit of the vinyl sticking out so that you can stick it down once you've got the position right. Then we flip it over and now we line it up. Then once you've got the position you want, flatten out the vinyl at the top there, lift up the vinyl from the silicone paper, pull the silicone paper out and lay your vinyl down, brushing the bubbles out as you go. Peel back the transfer tape. Make sure to watch for any small pieces that might remain on the transfer tape, as you don't want them to stay there. Now this transfer tape is still perfectly good, so I'm going to place it back on the backing and I'm going to reuse it for another project. I always like to make sure that the vinyl is really stuck down, so I'm going to give it one last burnish before I apply the wood burning gel. I would suggest holding the board up at an angle to try and catch the light, like here you can see my light, because that'll help you see if there are any bubbles trapped anywhere, or if there are any sections like that one that weren't quite completely stuck down. Once you are confident that your vinyl is completely stuck down, we can get out the wood burning gel and our paintbrush. This gel I got from a local supplier here in South Africa, Gel de Bois Brûlant, which means wood burning gel in French. I apologize if I butchered that, but there are lots of suppliers on Amazon and I will leave some links in the description for you for this wood burning gel as well as ones that you can get yourself. So you can just take a nice big clump of it, dump it on, and start moving it around. You'll need a very thinnish layer across the entire design. Every open space will then receive some gel. Brush it on relatively gently. You don't want to too vigorously brush it on to see if, because then you might actually lift up some of the vinyl parts. But it's very therapeutic. Try and make sure that you have a thorough, even coating all the way around every part of the design. Whatever you don't get covered in gel will not burn. So make sure that you're covering every little section that you want burnt. You can very faintly see what you have burnt. so it isn't terribly hard, and you can go back over it a second time just to make sure that you've, one, picked up all the excess gel, because you don't need a crazy amount, and two, to make sure that you've gotten every surface area. And again, this is another one of those times where picking the board up and holding it at an angle makes it a lot easier to see what you have placed gel on and which areas are free from gel and needing a little bit of attention. It's also important to note that the only reason why I'm going over this a second time is I'm trying to pick up the excess gel that's sitting on the top so that there isn't a ton of wastage, because you don't need a crazy amount of this. It's not like etching cream where you have to keep going over and over and over the design all the time. With the small lettering, what I like to do is go in all directions. So I'll go from left to right, from right to left, up, down, and top to bottom, just to make sure that all those little sections have gel in them. Now I'm just going to pick up some of the excess gel. One last go over some of the sections. And now we can get out our heat gun and slowly give this a very quick dry, and then we can start removing the vinyl and burning the design, which is my favorite part. I'm just using a normal Ryobi heat gun. You can probably get these on Amazon as well. And I'm just going to give it a quick once over. Just to dry out the gel. And now we can remove the vinyl from the board. And all the little bits that come with it. Now that that's all done, we take our heat gun again, and careful to not oversaturate one particular place. So we're going to slowly move it across the entire design with not hovering on one particular place. If it happens where you have places that are bubbling up like that, you might have a little bit too much gel on. So just take a sandpaper just give it a very light sanding, very light, and carry on. And my power went off, so I'll continue this in 2 hours, which you can. You can totally put the gel on and then come back later and complete it. Now that my power is back on, it's 2 hours later, I can continue. Now we can see where some imperfections have occurred. Number one, namely there. So this one will be probably because when I sanded it down a little bit, maybe I took a little bit too much off, or maybe I wasn't as good at getting everything covered as I thought I was. You can also see that the knots in the wood, or the joins in the two pieces when they actually put this board together, is why those lines happened here and these happened here, which kind of gives it also a little bit more of a rustic feel to it, so I'm not upset with it. What you can also see is that there's a little bit of a sheen on the words, and it looks a little bit like there's a coating on there. Now that will be probably because of the torch gel, so what you can do in this case is just lightly sand it off. If you want to also clean up these sections where it hasn't quite burnt properly, what you can do is, if you are very good with a free hand, you can add a little bit more gel afterwards. And you can patch up little areas that you may feel might need a little bit more attention. You'll probably find that they used some kind of an adhesive here on those sections to create the joins, or I'm not a wood board manufacturer person, I have no idea. And maybe that's why it's not burning as well. And that is just how easy it is to wood burn your own snack platter. Make sure to take your time while you're using the heat gun. Don't spend too much time on one area. Take it slow, there's no rush. Now, if you want to know how to etch a beautiful glass to go with your snack platter, check out this video, subscribe for more Cricut videos, and remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.